welcome back to another week of Techy Tuesday. Today we're going to continue our series on tips, tricks, and hacks inside of Gmail by talking about more advanced organization options. So in a previous video, we discussed here, if we click our settings gear, these basic quick settings and how we can really quickly start to organize the way that we are viewing our inbox. But we can take it a step further than we did in that video, and we can talk about additional organizations beyond just these quick settings. So today we're going to talk about labels and filters. So right here, you're going to see I have all of these different labels. Usually I'm using them for major projects or things that I need to keep in its own little folder so that I have really easy access to it if I ever need to find that information. So to me, I think of labels as folders that I am putting my emails in. And then beyond just the labels, we can apply filters that will automatically apply certain criteria to your labels and auto sort your emails for you. So when we click on that settings gear, we're going to then select See All Settings. The next section we're going to go into is the one that is labels. Now, once we're in labels, it looks like there's a lot going on in here, but it's a little easier than it looks at first glance. First thing we have is system labels. These are the ones that show up right here on the left side above any labels that you have made yourself. So if you've never made any labels, you're not even going to see this here. You are just going to see these system labels. These are the ones that are defaulted by Gmail, which means they are here no matter who is using Gmail or what account you are in. Now you can choose to hide some of these if you decide you don't need them. So I hide my snoozed and my important because I organize my inbox differently and there's no reason I need to see those. If for some reason I do, I can always click show and now it is going to show up as one of my labels that I can access. So you can come in and adjust this at any time that you need to. We also have categories. These are a little different than labels. Some of you have come up and asked me why all of a sudden you are seeing different sections in your inbox. So sometimes here in your inbox above where it would say unread, it might say social or a couple of different sections. Typically the one I see most often is promotions. So kind of like spam. So if you get an email from a retailer about a sale they're having, that would fall under promotions rather than your main inbox. So that's what we're seeing here with categories where it talks about social, updates, promotions. That's segmenting your inbox into different categories. I personally do not like this. I do not like them to decide where they are going to put stuff. Me, as well as my experience with agents, have trouble finding and figuring out exactly which category your inbox might have put that into. So I tend to hide all of my categories, but if you like them, you can definitely show them. And then we have the labels that we have made ourselves. When you are doing this, you will select Create New Label, and all you have to do is give it a name. Now you can even have nested labels. So if the label I'm currently making is for a property, but I have a folder for all of my sellers, I could then nest that under another label. So if I had a seller's label, I could put this address underneath my seller's label to keep everything even further organized. If I were to do that, you would see it just like it shows up here where I've got sellers and then a subcategory for that property. And then I can open or close the main folder if I need to get into it. So you can create as many labels as you need to keep yourself organized. I highly recommend doing this because it makes it really, really easy if there is ever a dispute or a question about a transaction to be able to track down the information that you are needing. But again, we can take this one step further. So beyond just labeling our different areas and being able to manually submit an email over to that label, I do need to apply a label to an email that is already in my inbox. I can select it. Next to my three dots here, you're going to see a little flag. If you hover over it, it'll say labels. and you can go and move it into whatever label you may need to add it to. And then I would find it not only in my main inbox, but I would find it under the label I needed it. You can also apply filters that will sort our mail for us automatically. Now you can see I have 2 different filters going on my emails right now. I used to get a lot of emails from our Facebook page. So every time somebody was commenting or liking one of our posts, I was getting sent an email notification about that. So eventually I got tired of having 40 plus emails in there every single day. So I created a filter. So anything that comes into the email in which we have associated with our Facebook page, it is going to immediately skip my inbox. It is not going to go into my inbox, and it's going to go into a label that I created for it. That way I never have to see those emails because they are not important to me at all. But I don't necessarily want to block the emails from Facebook just in case there's something in there and I can check it every so often. So in order to add these filters, you would hit create a new filter, and you are going to first find the types of emails that you are needing. So if it's everything from a certain sender or anything that maybe has the property address, you could put that in under has the words. So if the property address shows up in any email at all, it will automatically go where you want it to go. So you would apply what you need from the actual emails we're searching for. So say I want to put every single email that comes in from our tech team email, and I want it to go into a specific label so that I know to come back and check those. Then I'm going to put that I'm looking for from that specific email address, but I want all emails from this email address to go into my label, so I'm going to leave everything else blank. Again, maybe you take off the from and it just has the words, the property address. Whatever will work best for you in terms of what you are sending. After you have put in these criteria points, you're going to select create filter. And you are going to select what's going to happen to it when it comes into your inbox. So it can skip the inbox and go into archiving. If you know it's something that you are just never going to need, but you don't necessarily want to block the sender. We also have it can just be immediately marked as read. That way it stays in your main inbox, but it goes unread. It can immediately be starred. So if everything you get from your loan officer is incredibly important, then you can make sure that it gets starred every single time it comes in. Right here is where we can apply a label. So if I want everything from my tech team email to go into that 123 Main Street folder I created, then I could select that as the folder this email is going to automatically be put into. We can have it deleted forever. There's a few different options here as to what you could do with this filter. And then once you fully finish deciding what you want to happen once it hits the inbox, you'll select create filter, and then you will see it here in your list of filters. If you ever need to remove a filter, you simply go over and hit delete. You can also edit it. So if you found that the first time you tried to set it up, you didn't do it quite correctly, you can go and fix that anytime that you need. So that's going to be it for today's videos. Play around with some of those organization tips, and if you have questions or concerns, let us know in the comments. But we will be back next week with another Gmail hack. So until then, thanks for tuning in.